Okay, yeah, you might want to pop that in. You might want to pop that in.
I might gotta go listen.
Like,
Yeah.
hold on,
To Brother Nas. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Come and Talk Podcast. It's your girl Shantizi.
It's Kim. Sorry.
I know, you messed up.
Sorry,
It's okay.
I messed up right now because I'm like, okay, is Killer gonna go before me this time because he was sitting in the middle or whatever? But nah, it's your favorite styles. Kim Dillinger, the fashion gangster.
Release the beast in here. I didn't go last time when I was sitting in the middle. I follow protocol. Ladies first.
And we have two very special guests in the building. I'm really excited. Can you guys introduce yourselves, please?
All right, so I'm actually just Joshua Campos. I am actually a New York City public school teacher.
Awesome.
So all that good stuff is
We like
intertwined in there.
I love how he said, I'm just
a little
and I'm
something.
just Josh.
Which is extremely important.
But y'all are more than
You
just.
heard that? I'm just Josh.
And we have Sebastian in the building on this episode.
Just like
Sebastian, you better listen in because this is about school.
Hopefully you can shh. Thank you. So thank you guys so much for coming. I'm really excited to talk to you guys today because we are in a crazy time in our lives. COVID. We are opening schools, but we're not opening gyms. So I want to get into all of that and your thoughts on it as teachers as well. Please.
Yeah, I just want to pull that back when you said you guys are just educators. Y'all are heroes. And everybody has to know that. Y'all are heroes. Just as much as the nurses and the doctors, y'all were on the front line just like them.
Can I tell y'all how y'all heroes?
When the city was running around, like I'm just gonna say this personally. I know a lot of people who have a lot of family friends. Nobody knew what was going on in March, and they were still having the teachers come in.
yeah.
Still, the kids left. Still having the teachers come in.
Yeah.
Knowing that it affects older people because we had this research over a year ago. So that's what I mean by you guys are heroes. And not only that, something that you could attest to because you were also helping out with the essential kids. You didn't stop there.
No, I haven't stopped since. So
Wow.
So it's actually really important to me. Actually also to my wife. So that's
Oh,
you
yeah.
know big shout outs. I'm glad that we're here together.
As a
Yes.
team.
We're
Yes.
tag
I love
team duo.
it.
We are into a little bit of that right now. Before we get to the teacher stuff, we can get into that a little bit.
Okay.
Is this our first married couple?
Yes.
Yeah. And y'all
It's a
are
little
fairly new.
intimidating.
Yeah, fairly new.
I
Fairly
like
new.
it.
When
I'm married too, so I
did you all
like
drop the
it.
question to get engaged again?
So the August 19, 2018.
Oh wow.
So 18.
Okay, you know what? Maybe we should. Maybe we should.
You hit me with the IQ quiz. Come on, man. Oh, Lord.
No, but it's a beautiful thing. Y'all both doing it for kids and
Yeah.
At least this is my second time coughing and I keep seeing you move.
It's a reflex. It's a reflex. It's like,
Every time I cough, he moves
Yeah.
over a little bit. It's all right.
you know that.
I'm not even thinking about that, honestly. We was in the office the whole time, coughing all everywhere. So whatever's supposed to happen was supposed to happen to us.
So I like that.
That's gonna be a powerful union, a powerful household.
Thank you.
Beautiful things.
So actually, we on that. We working on that. So like you said, a union in the making. So
Right.
That's awesome.
right now we actually big shout outs to my wife. We actually closing on the house.
Yes! That's what I like to hear.
That
was hard.
That was
I
hard.
can only imagine. I know people say buying a house is harder
It's
than
hard.
you
We
get.
almost broke up a couple times.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta rush that wedding in. Like now you ain't going up.
It's a real thing. So, but going into that with the whole, luckily that this is where we kind of made that foundation through education.
Right.
So her commitment to kids and my commitment to kids, kind of springboard that's nice. Where we we were able to purchase a home, and even get that far. But in that whole COVID season, that's something that we've always been dedicated with.
So I was privileged to get an invite. So that was gonna be very special this summer. But I see it got pushed back.
Yeah,
Pushed back.
we're pushing
What's
back
that?
the reception.
Yeah.
So that'll be next year. But
That's That's understandable.
Yeah.
Because you guys
definitely.
really wanted a lot of your loved ones to be there right now. You can't do it.
That
so.
and we don't want to put anyone in jeopardy.
Yeah. God forbid, like somebody got married and in the next
They got
2
COVID
weeks.
from our
Yeah,
wedding.
exactly.
You know?
Right. They're going to be talking about that for
Yeah.
centuries to
Yeah.
come.
Remember the Campos?
All they had to do
Yeah.
was postpone it.
I wasn't planning on none of this, but where did y'all come from before this? We can get into that a little bit.
Yes.
Oh man.
Let's hear this.
What you mean? Where we come back from before this?
Let's hear it.
Y'all are Christians. Am I?
Oh,
Yes,
absolutely.
oh, we came from church.
You came from
Oh,
church.
yeah. Oh, okay.
We don't get too much of this on the show.
Please,
Yeah.
please have a reason. He had to point it out. So they
Okay.
think we're
Yes,
so
every
unholy.
Sunday.
Don't come and
No, you know
talk.
what?
No.
I want you really guys to really talk about that because I want 100% give my life to God as well, right? But
Okay.
my husband is not on that path. I don't see him there yet. And we're trying to figure it out now. We're sitting in marriage counseling with other Christian married families.
Ooh,
We have to
that's
do part 2 to
It
this.
all goes down to the scripture to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You start, and if whatever he wants to do, you don't nag him because nobody's ever gonna come to God like that. But you show him by fruit. Like, listen, when we first started dating, he had stepped away for a while with church, and he didn't want to attend. He got hurt, in prior things when he was younger. And I said, well, that's a stipulation for me. I'm not marrying. I want to raise my family in God. So maybe you don't have to be on the stage, but come and get fed.
Yes.
So I didn't push it. I mentioned it once, and he started to come, and now they love him more
She
than
asked
me.
my mother. My mother didn't really give me a choice.
She forced it on you.
Yeah, she gave me the Trixie's. Then like, hey Marisol, I know.
She
that you-
asked me what I was doing for my birthday. It fell on a Sunday, and I said, I'm going to church. She said,
Amen.
well, I'm coming too. So he was left out,
That
you know?
was it.
So yeah.
Crazy story. I'll just give you a little background synopsis. The building that I currently go to, Josh was actually dedicated in when he was a baby.
Wow.
And we didn't know each other, different owners back
This is
then.
next
So
week.
when his mom came, she's hysterical. I said, what happened?
Oh God, I'm about to get my life together.
Wow.
She
Maybe
said,
I'm gonna meet my husband.
We encourage that.
Yes,
Yeah, that story
Yeah.
is awesome, like
Yeah.
for real. So it's like a family thing with you,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
You're,
Yeah, very big on family.
Yeah.
No, meaning like, or are you saying like her coming up in the church?
Oh,
Right.
yeah,
Was-
my
of
parents are
course.
actually the pastors.
right.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
yeah, I didn't
nice.
really have a choice, but then when I got older, it was like, sink or swim, But
Yeah.
for me, I felt like I'd seen so many blessings in their life that I wanted that growing up. I used to be like, wow.
Easy
that
sell.
really, yeah, that really happened for you guys, So.
I agree, because
Yeah.
that's how I grew up too. I think I lost myself like some way before I got married, just hanging out just with the wrong set of people, the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
And then I just realized like I'm so much different from the people that I'm around, and I always knew my calling was like pushing towards God even more. And then when my grandmother died on my birthday, it kind of like clarified things more. And then my cousin died on my birthday. I was like, hold on, wait a minute, God is trying to wake me up. What am I doing with my life? Like, I gotta figure it out, and I gotta figure it out fast. And I'm not just doing it just because I want to say that I'm a Christian or I'm this kind of woman, because it doesn't change. You don't have to. People think that you have to change because you're a Christian. No, it doesn't. It's just that your walk is different.
Yeah.
Ooh, I
Ooh,
like
that's
that. I
a
like
great-
that.
yeah,
I like that
that's a
because when you say about that your walk, right? So we always say that, and I feel like we always get kind of torn into conversation with what are we here? We're not. I'm not here to tell you about a religion. I'm here to tell you about a relationship
Right.
with God, right? And so my relationship with God will speak for itself, and it has spoken for itself in the midst of the pandemic, in the midst of everything, and being in the classroom. So like today's education, I know like we kind of like.
Weird.
Nah, this is
No,
Let's
this is
take a
good.
little. Okay, it's good.
It all,
Okay.
It all leads.
It all leads. It
into
all
each other.
leads. It all
Hey,
leads.
listen, they kicked God out of the school system,
And
so
look what happened.
maybe it's time for him to come back.
We gotta bring him back. We
You
gotta
know?
bring him back.
It's just something, something to really, kind of think about. And so like what you said is 100% right. It's that relationship. So you know if your relationship is there, because you know look at they closed down every single church right now, pretty much, and gave guidelines. They closed schools, they closed gyms, right? And even in our church, you know what happens? What happens when church now becomes your living room? You know, does it change? Does the dynamic change?
That's the thing I was gonna point out, because I was baptized as a young girl. I didn't, you know, I gave myself to the world later on in life, but I always had that feeling inside me. It's a feeling that I don't know how to explain it, but you know, you get the little feeling when somebody's giving their testimony, or when you listen to a song, a church song or whatever. So you get the feeling. So I didn't start getting so spiritual, because you know I've been on my little journey. I didn't start getting so into it until after going to church was no longer an option. So then it became deeper for me. I started doing my own research, reading certain things, and just getting to understand that okay, this is I'm in the world, but there's a little thing in there in me. So I don't think I have to go to church for that. I don't know if you might disagree, but I don't think I have to go to church to feel
You are the
how I
body
feel.
of Christ. It's not just a building. That's what people sometimes don't recognize. They think, because anybody could go to church and not be the same, and there's no change. But what he pointed out with the relationship is that you don't want to do the same things when you have, because it's like offending your husband or wife. You know, you're not going to be cheating on them and stuff and hurting them, because it offends them and that'll hurt them. And it's the same thing with God. You start to act differently. Your environment changes. Like what you pointed out, and you said, I'm not like them. I know that I'm different, you know?
Something that's
You
spiritually
feel it.
well.
Yeah, my spirit.
That's what I'm saying about
My
the
spirit just
feeling.
starts moving me in different directions, and I'm just always thinking about, like, I really gotta find my purpose here. I know I'm supposed to be teaching on a different level, but it's like I keep going here and diverting. It's like, no, Kim, you don't.
And I think that has a lot to do with the devil and the role he plays
Yes.
on this planet. Like, so what he's doing
Sends
is he's
people.
making it seem like if you stop doing all of this, you're not gonna be able to have fun. How are you gonna just do this? You know, he's letting you think back. Oh man, I feel it. I know I'm supposed to be going here, but if I stop, how am I gonna do this? I'm not gonna be able to do this. God is not gonna allow me to do this. I'm not gonna be able to do this and say I'm doing God. You know what I mean? So I understand the battle.
That
Being in the middle.
the acceptance feeling from peers and people around you, like you don't want to feel different, you know,
Because you choose to live your life a different way.
or be ostracized. So
I mean, you gotta get to a point where you don't care. Because
yeah,
God,
and that's just it.
I'm at that point.
You gotta get to the point.
Yeah,
where you're like, eh.
I've been at that point for like the last 3 years. I'm like, that's how you feel.
Yeah.
Right?
Right, exactly.
But I need to be here because maybe me being here will help you. Because my prayers are going to get stronger.
Yeah, that's a good
And I don't play, God don't play by me. He does not play by me. When I get on these two knees and I pray, I've seen him work miracles. I can't explain it, but I've seen things. You know when you pray for something and how much you change, and then something happens, and then you're like, wow, I don't think this would have happened if I didn't get down on my knees and pray.
See, that's why we need this back in the schools.
Do you see?
The kids need this.
Yeah,
really
like,
do.
honestly.
Now, do you guys have an opinion on why this isn't in the schools anymore?
Ooh, that's deep. That's deep. It is in the school, right? So, but when we come to multiculturalism, right, and we have to be accepting of, all religions, right? So there is that kind of pullback, that break, So I'll give you this much, and this is where I feel like religion is out of schools for that reason, right? So that we can be inclusive. But religion is not, because I'm there, and I feel like I'll let my light shine. And so this is a short anecdote. A senior up in my school building, she is the salutatorian, A1 student. Her mother is in Guyana, and she was here in Far Rockaway with just her father. And in the middle of the pandemic, her father came down with COVID-19 and was intubated. And somehow, some way, this student knew to reach out to Mr. Campos and say, Mr. Campos, I'm not doing my homework. First thing first. I am sorry, Mr. Campos, I'm not doing my homework. but because of he's intubated and he's sick and that her father actually ended up passing. But in doing so,
Man, why I wanted you to tell the story and
Oh,
say I
in
never
the
heard
highlight?
that.
But I could tell you though, in that she knew to call me so that we could pray. And I prayed over her, and you could pray a bold prayer, right? But in that time, right, God's time is, your number of your days are already before you're here,
Isn't that
right?
crazy?
So you're we're living here, we're here in this podcast, and this is great. But we know He knows the number of your hair on your head, and He knows the number of your days before. So, unfortunately, He did not make it, past that. But I could shed light in that, and it was really critical for me as an experience as a teacher that I didn't teach. I taught great chemistry and I taught great math to the student. But what stuck out was, Mr. Campbell, can you pray for me? And that was
How
there.
old was she?
So she's only 17 years old,
Wow.
and she's starting college this year. Amazing student. But to think about it, her mother is in Guyana still. She's not. She's in the States,
Right.
parentless.
And that's where prayer, or
Comes in.
the spiritual part.
That
or-
spiritual
right.
aspect. There you go.
Right. So that's where it took place. So it might not have maybe saved her father, but it might have saved her life and her
Yes.
family's life moving forward. So that's the way you want to look at it.
Yeah.
But walk us through the whole. Cause I know both of y'all are involved with educating. Walk us through the whole situation, February, March.
Are you also a public school teacher? I think
I actually work in a private school.
private school. Okay.
Yeah. So best of both worlds, but worst of best case scenario.
Yeah, walk us through. Like we
Oh.
were hearing stuff February, and at first, we were like, they said no masks. The masks are only for the nurses. Remember that? I don't know if you remember.
Yes, I remember
Republicans,
that.
Democrats, only for the.
So at least on scene, you gotta look at it as this is rhetoric from your politicians. This is that they don't want to place fear mongering.
Right.
And they don't want to say, well, everyone be careful, because what would that incite? That's
Correct.
like saying,
Craziness.
you're inciting mayhem, and you're inciting, that's like saying fire in a movie.
Right.
Right?
Correct.
Everybody is focused on one thing. I'm coming home, I'm going to school, I'm going back, this is my rigor, this is what
Right.
I do.
My regiment.
This is my regimen.
Mhm.
So now to say, break off your regimen and be wary, COVID-19 is here, is a different ballgame. Okay? So in February, you have, teachers, and I can show you emails. So and that's something that I have, that I wrote myself. I said, listen, I'm seeing a lot of students go down. Please be wary. We need to clean these buildings a little bit more.
So you were seeing students getting sick?
So I saw students get sick. Myself, I was sick.
You had COVID?
So I, wow, this is
Crazy.
a great question.
Well,
So,
we don't know how.
I don't know how.
Because he was sick back in November before COVID was a
Girl,
thing.
me too.
Yeah.
All of us.
And I kept saying, babe, they even asked him if he was a heavy smoker. He's like, I don't smoke at all. And they said, your lungs are like inflamed and all this.
Wow.
And we
Took
didn't know.
X-rays. They were like,
I
yo,
kept saying, what the hell? What did you pick up? And
Yeah.
lo and behold, we went to get the antibody test. I never was sick.
Ooh.
And
Life is
and
like
we both
this.
have the antibodies, but like,
Wow. So that means you guys had it.
I guess so.
yeah.
Guys, I'm scared to take the test.
Why?
Because I don't trust my government.
What do you mean you don't trust the government?
No, but
I don't know.
knowledge is power.
What they gonna do with it?
Since
Not
we're
even what they gonna do with it. Like, what if they gonna what if I never had it and they're gonna tell me, oh,
You got it.
you had it, or what if I
Okay.
don't have it and they can tell me, well, you have it, do
I
this,
thought a lot
change
of
your life
tests
this
were
way.
like coming in false
Wrong. Yeah,
positives
exactly.
and-
Yeah.
That's the stuff I'm talking about. Like,
I know he definitely he was sick, and I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell is what's going on?
I actually
with
wrote an email. I said, guys, let's get Lysol in this building. We have to clean these desks before letting these students come in.
One of our former guests said this. It's like Jazz the rapper. She was like, I feel like we were living dirty, especially in New York City,
Yes.
the whole time. What
But
you're asking
nobody
for
washed
should be
their hands
normal.
before.
Lysol should be normal with
Right.
students.
Yeah.
Washing your hands, hand sanitizer should
Right.
be normal. It
So-
wasn't normalized.
So there's actually, and I'm glad that you pointed that out. So there's so many aspects, and my wife can tell you. She's like, how you guys were not able to keep the building clean before.
Private versus public.
I just said this to
Private,
him. I
public.
was like, they didn't clean the building good before, so how are they reopening?
you know, like, there's,
And we're not talking about his
So many
building in particular. We're talking
questions.
about worldwide,
Yeah.
citywide,
Yes.
US-wide. So
Yes.
we're not putting anybody on the bus.
No.
We know what it is.
I love that you said that. I love that you said that. So you know what? I really, and I'm covered that in my own little due diligence that in China and in other Asian countries, why do they wear masks? They wear masks
Said that.
for respect. They don't wear masks because like, oh, I'm sick or fear of being sick. I want to respect you that much that let me make sure that before Ka goes home or Mia goes home, I don't sneeze on her or I don't get her sick. So it's a respect issue, and it's so it's not even the like contagious or things like that. And I feel like you said, those are things that are prerequisites beforehand. We should be clean. So in our building, when we talk about public schools, you're talking about like let's go even further. I have 6th grade students with ringworm, 6th grade students with lice. Like that's how close students are together. I'm sorry. Please, for me to give you ringworm right now, I have to move from this table and get damn near on top of you.
Right.
So think about that. An outbreak of ringworm in a school is commonplace. An outbreak of lice is common.
And flu, just the flu period.
Yes.
Our kids, when Sebastian was in school before this whole COVID situation, every season from daycare to when he started school, every season around winter time in daycare, every single child in that class is sick.
They all play with the same things. Yep.
They get sick. So I don't understand the thought process of having the kids go back to school. Because I'm thinking in my mind, when I'm in the house, I have to tell him 100 times, wash your hands. I have to be on top of it, telling him, Sebastian, wash your hands. Go do this. Go pick up the seat when you're peeing. Or wipe the seat. You know what I mean? Wipe the seat before you sit up. Whatever the case.
You're not washing your hands. I'm just asking. Because mommy looks like she's doing a great job. Alright, you washing your hands.
But so in my mind, as a mom and as somebody who's already like a germaphobe, I'm like, but wait, who's gonna take him to the bathroom to wash his hands? How are they gonna make sure that he's gonna keep his mask on?
Right.
Can you imagine me as a kid, or your kid in school, and one of his friends, oh, your mask is cool.
And it's
yours is cool. Let's swap.
Yeah.
Who is gonna be monitoring
You
this?
sent them with Batman. He came back with Superman.
He was doing that. You know how many kids had
Now y'all got
Sebastian
me
came home
really
from
thinking
Superman? Who's gonna be monitoring this? I don't understand the thought process.
So that is a problem. We like lose sleep about
that.
it. We literally lose sleep about it.
And it's unfair to you guys because it has to come from above you, and above you is already scrambling.
Yeah.
And y'all make so many sacrifices already for us. Like me, I'm a single parent, and it's like a ease on my mind to know that for a couple of hours, my kid are gonna be around people who took how many training to be able to deal with my kid. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Can I
I
say
can't do
something?
that during COVID.
Has there been any trainings?
For COVID?
Yeah, like
So
fire drill kind of situations.
okay. So here's it.
They gonna go outside and run.
Man.
Like,
Safety.
You know,
Like,
I really like everyone else's questions. You're really getting me. Okay, if this starts going viral and
Answer them.
Nah, Khalid's got a list. Khalid's mom is a teacher.
Right.
So
So
Khalid
he
is
ready
ready.
to have the questions.
listen, okay.
well, she wouldn't come on here because she know better.
Yeah, I was wondering.
If I react, if she a principal, I react. She's like, hell no.
Yeah.
You people like viral and internet,
Yeah,
Facebook.
no.
I'm not going on none of that.
You're lucky I love you. That's all. This is all love right here. 'Cause
Babe, they'll be mentioning your school.
no.
We'll
drop
the school
don't
name.
name drop, but I think
You didn't
it's
say anything.
important.
I was just asking, like,
Yeah.
has there been any of that?
Okay, we'll skip.
So that's a no. But I think it's important to have you guys on. We're in August. It's about to be September in a few weeks, and everyone's lives are gonna change because
Yes.
regardless, you have to. You can you opt out of going back, or do you have to go back?
Oh, that's a fire question. So let's make it twofold, right? Let's make it twofold. So first thing first, I have been working at a rec center over since March, right? So I had the luxury of being a coach for many years within the New York City Department of Education. With that being said, they cut that, right? Because you can't have any type of sporting stuff like that. But they looked out for all coaches to help support first responders, right? So in the rec center, we have sub teachers, sub paras, and PSL coaches, right? And so I do all the, let's say, physical activity because I'm trained in X, Y, and Z. And so in my building, we have 135 kids on a daily basis, no outbreaks, right? So that's a positive, right? So let's look at the good first.
And how long was this?
From March to the
From
Okay.
I'm gonna be there tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm gonna be there tomorrow in Woodside, right? So all my students are Amazon, doctors, anything that needs to be that has been deemed essential, are their students are there, their children are there, and those kids are my students currently. Not summer school. This is not anything. This is just to make sure that those essential workers have childcare. That's wonderful. Okay, great. But we haven't had no outbreaks, no kids have gotten sick, no teachers have gotten sick. So that's a plus, okay? Because that is an exemplar of social distancing, wearing masks, and the microcosm of, okay, let's implement what this world will look like with students in the classroom exercising social distance, and it has been a win. The downfall here is, and I don't care who's on here or who sees this, is that as the UFT has, and this is the United Union, what is this, Teachers Federation, got it, whatever, the Teachers Union. We brought to the table in April, let's make an action plan, all right, and they came to the party late. They came to it in July. We can't exclude that. Okay, we can't condone that. We came and Carranza, all those head officials, de Blasio should have said, you know what, let's see what works. Let's see what doesn't.
What's the rush for September? I'm trying to figure out. Why is this? We're in uncharted territory.
It's money.
It's money.
It's
The
money.
root of all evil,
Yeah.
the root of all evil, money. Okay? And you want to know what's even worse? And I've shined light on this into like the DOE teachers Facebook, and I don't care. I don't, because my obligation is to the kids, not to.
And to yourself and your family.
Absolutely.
So that becomes the
Right,
problem
you
because
guys are going home
more than
now.
likely the kids will get sick and be fine, but
Yeah.
the teachers are at the older stages in their life where they can really. And not
Absolutely.
only teachers, the principals, they got a different union as well.
Totally
That can have
The
another
bus driver,
life.
the
That's
security
what I'm saying.
guards,
They didn't think this through. They didn't think
the
this
nurses. So it's like, let's just pause this, let's get a plan together, and then you'll get your money. But you're not gonna get money if nobody's around to even give money to. So let's just
You're right.
So
pause
to
it.
answer my question though, can you opt out of
Oh,
going back to school?
so no,
Working?
I can't opt out.
I think you have to have
I have to have
a pre-existing
Yeah.
No,
condition.
the short of your Medicare records. I had corona. Didn't you say you had corona?
and they would be like, great.
Right,
That
you beat
means-
it.
You
You
beat
beat
it?
it.
You
Yeah.
got it?
See
Good.
you Monday.
Yeah. Now get in front of that smart board and do what you do.
Right.
You know?
And they're not only treating teachers like that, they're treating the NYPD, the FDNY, the
Yeah.
sanitation,
Oh my
correction officers. They're all getting treated the same way. You get corona, you beat it, you good. Roll out
Yeah.
there. Like,
Get up in there.
so I think it's existing conditions like if you got a heart, cancers. I think you have the
Like
ability
asthma,
to
stuff like that.
asthma. I think you have the ability to opt out. But if you're healthy,
You're healthy, go get it.
Go get COVID.
Yeah.
I really don't understand it though. Like I can't even go to the gym to work out, but
But you want to send
my
kids to
kid
school.
could go to school in September.
Indoor dining.
Movie theaters.
Come on.
Like,
no, because everybody's talking about they fund the NYPD, but they didn't tell you about the teachers' budget. That's way more money. Education?
Yeah.
A lot of money goes into education. A lot.
A lot of trickle down economics. that doesn't trickle down.
That's what I'm gonna say because I hear a lot of teachers complaining about not really making what they should be making in their field.
Because the only thing about teachers, you gotta think about the textbooks. Let's say the chalkboards, that's all of that is
All the
all of that is part of education. The virtual stuff that they're doing now, all these programming.
I could tell you, it's funny enough that you mentioned that, right? So, and if you really want to take the capitalistic, I kind of feel like okay, the capitalistic economy, right? So where it's that free market, laissez-faire, let's make this money, okay? When it infiltrates your education, when it infiltrates your like let's say prisons, things like that, where people try to make money off of simple, simple resources that should just be free. Okay, people always trying to find that bag, and I put this to you even further. I met with Rosetta Stone, so I'm at the rec center, and I said, listen, they're not giving us nothing to these kids. These kids missed out from March, April, May, June on live instruction. So I'm out here like this. How can we get these kids to start learning? I'm a special education teacher. My number one job is live, learn, and earn. I gotta get you from point A to point B. You don't have to be the next, and me and Kaka can always tell you, everybody's not gonna make it to the NBA, but you need to be a
Sebastian, you better.
But can you live? Can you earn? And can you participate in society? Absolutely.
Right.
So check this out. So I met with the directors from Rosetta Stone who have this program called Lexia, and it's all adaptive. They go online, they plug in front of them, and it gauges where they're at in their reading, gauges in grammar, comprehension, everything.
What's it called?
Lexia. Core 5 and Power Up for all grade bands. And so they gave it to me for free. And my whole rec center is benefiting from it. And amazing, right? But what's the catch?
The competitors.
The catch is, Mr. Campos, who's your principal so that they can purchase this for September? They would literally be like, in the middle of the pandemic, no problem, that's cool, we'll give it to you for free.
Right.
I don't really care about these kids. I need your principal to purchase this license.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, they're selling everything.
Right. So now your principal might be tied to their competitive company.
Absolutely.
So now you got to tell them, well, I like this one maybe better.
Yep.
It don't matter what's better, so this is what we got, and I'm sorry I can't work with them.
Yep.
Were you able to work it through?
So I was able to obtain, up until August 31st.
Okay.
Up until August 31st is when it cuts out, right? And you would think, oh man, the rec center, you're gonna just stop giving the service to these kids. Doesn't matter. They are out here and they're just going and saying, all right, cool, we got the service. Boom. Who's your principal? Boom. Who's your principal? Who's your principal? And they out here making that money, and it's an exorbitant amount of money, just because they're profiting off of the pandemic. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
That's a scary place to be, but it's like that everywhere. It's like that everywhere.
So how do the kids reacting? Because I know you deal with an older age group, you deal with a younger age group.
Sorry.
Can y'all both explain how the kids have been adapting to this whole process? And
For me, they really don't understand. Like they're like, we want to see our friends. Like we doing stuff on Zoom and stuff, and they don't understand at all.
The step-up ceremonies, drive-bys.
It was a
Oh, yeah.
drive-by. Like they
Ridiculous.
just I felt like they didn't remember us. Like it's been so long, but for you,
Yeah.
like
It's been a whirlwind. It really has been a whirlwind. In the midst of the pandemic, there's a social aspect of school. There's like, I'm get to interact with my friends. Like if you really look at it, we're here 6.5 hours, and what does that translate into? Is that 6.5 hours of instruction? There's lunch, PE, gyms,
sex ed. How has sex ed changed with the pandemic? Because I read something the other day with the
I need to learn about that. 'Cause I
where
got
you have to wear a mask now. They want to limit kissing. You have to wear a mask during intercourse.
What?
God.
I'm about to fall out in here.
Very.
We're not gonna play
Yeah,
these
right.
games with the mask.
Can I be transparent? Or
Yeah,
no?
it could be transparent.
Alright, I met Kai many years ago.
Oh, you went with him.
Now you definitely could be transparent. I don't know.
Right.
I met Kai many years ago. And I said, man, this guy's off the chain. I love this guy. Right? And then he mind boggled me because he was like, nah, I'm asexual. I said, you asexual? Kai, what do you
I know who's going here, but go
Yeah,
ahead.
you know it. Why you want to stop?
Asexual.
Asexual.
Got you.
He cause that. So I don't know. So you're don't worry about it. COVID, you good. You
Oh, I
asexual.
like that. I like
Okay.
that. Because I'm definitely asexual. You know what?
For your safety,
No.
you're
Not
good.
my safety, but I like how you switched it. I'm just trying to say for this
Oh.
school year, maybe you should also let them know that, no jokes aside, you can't pass it around from mouth to mouth.
Oh,
Absolutely.
So that's what I was getting to.
Oh.
So with that,
Oh, yeah, let's let these kids know then.
you gotta let these kids know.
So I know you guys have your own podcast, right?
No.
No. I don't have my own podcast. So actually, I'm in the middle of creating a Reading with Riley, which is an interesting. It's an interesting thing. Piggyback. No.
Let's go.
How did you get that information?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's something to
secret
help
information.
children learn to read, but making it fun. So we came up with this idea for
Reading with Riley.
Yeah.
And it's
Listen, I love that.
yeah.
I'm always as a mom, I'm always looking for cool ways. Because I am not that type of mom. I'm sorry. I'm not the type of mom that's like, yeah, I'm so excited, let's do this. No, I'm always working. So I'm always looking for different ways to get him, interacting and learning. So I'm excited to hear about this.
Okay, so to second that, I love that you said that, right? I love that you said I'm always working. In this type of economy, in this type of day and age, not only do both parents have to work, both parents have to work sometimes multiple jobs to make ends meet. So what comes about of that? And you can see that in her classroom, in my classroom. Students are sucked into YouTube as zombies. So there you go. You go off.
Don't matter the age.
It
It's
don't
only
matter the
5.
age.
Listen, they all.
They all.
I got teenagers. They.
So
He is only 5.
no way.
He knows how to get on YouTube
That-
himself.
Oh, come on, Sebastian, it's over. Is it Roblox? What is it? What's the go-to?
Same exact.
It was Roblox.
It was
Oh, they're addicted to that thing.
It's,
But honestly, it helps them use their minds a lot. Cause I watched
think
my
it's
8-year-old.
foolishness.
I watched my 8-year-old with that Roblox situation.
okay.
I can't do it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
I
Come on
think it's
now.
foolishness.
So I actually run a coding class on Roblox, and you can change it.
Mhm.
It's,
Let me
Go ahead.
talk for a second.
Yes,
Hey,
come here.
Go.
Here you go. Here you go. Come here. Let me
Go.
move this mic over
This
there.
is
Go
prime
ahead.
time. This is
Go
prime
ahead.
time.
Go ahead.
What do you gotta say,
Talk about
baby?
it. Tell us about Roblox. Come on.
If Roblox would have been a game, we would have had zombies on it or other games.
Okay.
Done.
Anything else?
Yes.
He's done.
There you go.
He's like, y'all putting the pressure on.
So Roblox is a great tool. It's a great tool in that aspect. If we're gonna really talk about coding, sequential thinking, things like that. And that's a great springboard and a great launch point. But so for Reading with Riley, it's actually to really take that screen time and make it worthwhile, right? So while Riley phonemic awareness and developing, so there's a subtle aspect, right? And I love it. And we'll go with 50 and Mayweather, right? So let's say 50 and Mayweather. What was the ongoing joke, Kai, about
Can't
about
read.
Mayweather? He can't read, but he can't read why.
probably the one invested in.
I'm guessing he
Let's guess.
invested in the boxing.
I invested in boxing, right? But there's some subtleties there where for you to be a strong reader, right, if you're using that screen time and you're in front of there's a scooping mechanism with your eyes. And it's actually eye strength, right, that makes you a strong reader. That you don't have to put your finger on the page, okay? So as, early childhood education, we come out and we say, let's go. You need to scoop. hold the book, but use your eyes.
Again?
Scoop with your eyes. Every three words. Every 5 words. So you want to scoop with your eyes. So we're reading with Riley. We're actually springboarding this cartoon where it catalogs episode after episode, adventure of adventure. Those words that are on the pages, they are highlighted. So it actually increases their reading rate.
Okay, I like
So
that.
their speed, right? Because you don't have access to a book right now, and if you're on YouTube, it's because you don't have the book. You want the feel of YouTube.
Are you guys
Yes.
gonna be putting this on YouTube?
Yes,
It's-
nice.
I'm
supposed to be free.
excited. I'm
I
looking
know.
forward to it.
Yeah.
No,
Congrats on
everything.
that.
$3.99.
I would totally incorporate it with Sebastian, and I'll give you feedback. I'm excited for it.
It's coming. It's
Just
coming.
let me know, because
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I love, little cool ways that I could get into the game.
Yeah. Hey, as honest as it may be, right?
It's real.
It's better than the other alternatives.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So there's a lot of alternatives where you can have all these other YouTube sensations, like
Influencing your
yeah,
kids.
influencing your kids, Logan, all those guys.
He know them.
He knows. He knows.
Diane, Ellie,
Yeah, come on,
famous 2K,
come on.
all of them.
Hold on.
And Onyx Kids, which is mommy's favorite.
There you go. So what happens there?
Airing me out.
Airing them out. So what happens there?
And in
So
and
it sounds
out.
like we gotta bring y'all back on the show when this is finally launched.
No, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it, and I really wanted to get into a lot more today.
Oh, man.
we gotta get up out of here.
All right.
Yeah, we'll definitely bring y'all back because we need to talk more of this.
Which one, Jesus?
Listen, you know I love my God.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
So, if there were some quick tips, so you have parents going back to school, what would you tell them?
Yes.
Like,
Okay, that's
5
awesome.
tips.
5. Start practicing hand washing and stuff at home. Definitely.
Like, there's other videos.
Go ahead. It's not your time. It's not your time.
God, why? You're hitting
No,
me
five.
hard.
All right, I did one.
That was
You
a
go.
that was a fire question. You know what it is? Is because I don't want to get caught out there in the rhetoric of 5 tips, go. Remote learning. I don't want to push that, right?
No, not really, but
Okay.
kids, it sounds like they're going back, some of them. Because, like I said, I live and I see a lot of educators, so some parents are opting in, they're sending their kids in.
Absolutely.
It looks like they're going to do 2 and 3 or group A, B, C, I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm hearing a lot of this stuff.
Yeah,
So I
they're
just want to
gonna,
get something down so parents can feel more comfortable.
but they don't even know. They don't want to. They don't
I
want to
was
go
like-
back.
It's
There is
That's
no
hard.
plan. The plan is keep your kids at home until Corona is done with us.
I would hope that we adopt the model from Boston, Massachusetts.
What's that?
So they are slowly opening. It's a slow open. Okay. We have resources within the New York City that we have kids that if you can learn on YouTube, you can learn remotely for higher education. Students that are 17, 18.
Absolutely.
But we could really springboard and use all those brick and mortar buildings for kids that are younger and allow them to be in a building, allow them to have those resources, and allow them to have the support. That's it.
Awesome.
So 5 things. I feel like keep the older kids in remote. Be flexible kids. Don't wear your mask, social distance, and be respectful.
I'm also going to keep pushing this. Fitness and eating healthy
Yes.
plays a major
Yes,
role
definitely.
in this.
There you go.
And praying. As we learn this
And no more
episode.
kissing.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. And like you said, when you guys do drop the reading YouTube special, you're gonna have to come back with me. All 3 of y'all. You, Sebastian, all of y'all gonna come back so we can talk about
Yeah,
it.
because Sebastian got to talk about his experience with it.
Yeah. Test it out. Test it out.
For real, I'm so
Awesome.
serious. Thank you guys so much for coming. We really appreciate
For
it.
real.
Absolutely.
This has been a good, fun episode.
Yes.
It's your girl Shantizi,
And we are out.
and we're out.
Are we doing an outro with Nas? What are we doing? What's the outro?
We'll add that in later.